Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. We have got another shelf stable meal idea video. I just pulled up to Dollar General. If you missed my last video, I'll have it linked down below, but I asked in that video if y'all wanted to see this again and what store you wanted to see. So I've got a lot of requests for like Dollar General, Family Dollar, which I kind of consider those the same. It just depends on what area you're in, if you have either a Family Dollar or Dollar General. And then I got a lot of requests to do Aldi as well. So I picked Dollar General because the last couple times I went into Aldi, I haven't been a huge fan of their selection. And so when I do these videos, and y'all know when I buy food that I know that we'll eat. And I want it, so I don't want to go to Aldi and, do a video for you guys and then not care for the products that I bring home. So I want to make it worth my while. So this is another $20 challenge video. I've got a $20 bill. So let's head into Dollar General and see what shelf stable meals we can find and how many we can get for $20. Okie dokie, y'all, so I just got back. I didn't get any footage inside. I don't know about y'all's Dollar General, but it is always atrocious. Like, I had to step over stuff just to look at the food. Our Dollar General is awful. I feel like a lot of them are the same, but I did find some really good things. I went over budget. So let's see how good or bad I did once we get back home. We are back home now. Here is our spread. And I spent $22.45. So I did go over by $2.45. So let me break it down into meals for you guys and I will share what we got. So for our first meal, I went with Meatless. We have got some flour tortillas, got 2 bags of this Spanish rice. I've talked about these before. Having these in stock up is amazing because you have different flavors. All your seasonings and everything are already in this pack. So all you have to do is add your other ingredients, add protein if you want, anything like that, and you're good to go. It's kind of one of those like all-in-one almost. So I went with the rice, got a can of corn, some refried beans, and the pricey part of this recipe was this queso blanco. So like I shared in the Dollar Tree haul that I picked up, at the Dollar Tree you can get like the individual things of the cheese sauce. So of course that would be cheaper, but this is pretty pricey. So that's where it kind of went over budget a little bit because I wanted to have some sort of a cheese factor, because you got to remember, if you're in an emergency situation, if you have no electricity, no running water, your cheese and all that is a no-no. So I decided to go over a budget a little bit so that way we could have that cheese factor for our meatless tacos. So what I would do if I was making this right now, I would cook the rice according to the package directions. I would add in the corn drained into the rice, cook it up, and then I would take my refried beans, lay it on my tortilla, top it with my rice and corn mixture, and then I would top it with some of the queso blanco, and then roll it up and you have easy tacos. Or if you wanted to do like enchilada style and bake them, you could do the same way, put it on there, roll them up, put them in a pan, and then you could pour that queso blanco on top of it and you could do enchilada style. So you have 2 options here for these, or you could just eat it without, do like a rice bowl. Cook your rice separate, have your corn, you could do black beans instead of refried beans, and you could do like a rice bowl instead of having the tortillas. So you've got several options in this case. So this is the first meal that I went with. Next up, we have got a box of Jiffy cornbread mix and a can of chili with beans. They had a bunch of options of different brands of chili. Of course, I went with the cheapest one. One of the things I did notice about the Dollar General items is a lot of the stuff is pretty pricey. So personally, if I was going to look for shelf-stable ingredients, if I had options for stores, Dollar General wouldn't be my first option. I would probably do like Walmart first, honestly, because some stuff was pretty pricey. But what I would do with this one is this would be like an oven one or a cast iron pan over like on your grill or your fire pit. I would take and put my chili down first in your pan. Then I would top it with the Jiffy cornbread mix. And so the Jiffy cornbread mix calls for milk and an egg. So in this sense, if there's no electricity, I would use unsweetened applesauce for the egg. And then I have a bunch of options for shelf-stable milk. You've got cartons of milk, you have dried milk, you have evaporated milk. You have a bunch of options. As long as you keep them on hand, you're able to still bake in that sense. So, but applesauce would be my alternative to an egg, unless you have dehydrated eggs. A few people last video said, you know, you can always have dehydrated eggs. They're on the pricier side, so that's not something that I feel like I need in my stock up. But if you have them, then definitely use them in this case. I will have the link down below I talked about previously how you can turn like a fire pit into an oven, depending on like if you cook with a Dutch oven. I'll have that link down below. It kind of goes into more detail on how you do that, like how many charcoal pieces you put on the top and the bottom, and it's like a whole science. So I'll put that down below, but this is my next option. If you wanted some sort of cheese factor to this, you could get one of those Velveeta cheese sauce packets. Y'all know I use all the time, and I would put the chili down, do the Velveeta cheese sauce, and then do the cornbread on top of that. So if you wanted cheese, that would be your shelf-stable cheese option. Next up, we are going to be making our own beanie weenies. So I looked at the price comparison to the little cans of beanie weenies compared to buying it this way. And this way was definitely cheaper. Of course, you can easily buy already canned, the beanie weenies that's all in one. Really easy. I feel like those are good for like the 72-hour kits, like pack, ready to go. But if you wanted to make your own, kind of add some more seasonings and whatnot, this is a good option. I just got the Dollar General brand of the brown sugar baked beans. This is a bigger can this is 28 ounces. And then I went with the veiny sausage bites. So I would put these two together in a pan. I have little ketchup packets. I have brown sugar. I've got seasonings. I have little mustard packages. So I've talked about before that, like, whenever I go out to a restaurant or anything, and I always ask for extra condiments. I ask for ketchup, extra mustards, kind of stuff like that. So that way I have those on hand, so you can add extra seasonings and flavor and stuff to your dishes. So I would definitely use some of my condiment packets in this recipe. Next up, we have got another chili inspired recipe. This is chili mac. How easy is this? Super, super easy. You can buy any brand mac and cheese. This was the cheapest, so I did pick this one up. The cheapest per ounce. And then I got the chili with no beans. So all you gotta do is cook this on the stovetop according to package directions. Add in your cheese sauce, and then just open up this can of chili, pop it in, mix it together. You have a super easy chili mac, and it's got to be delicious. Next up, I went with another really easy one. I found this Prego Italian sausage and garlic sauce, meat sauce. So this is what kind of inspired that, because I actually looked on the back and the ingredients, and I looked kind of in the can, and it actually does have chunks of Italian sausage in it. So that's going to help you get that protein factor in this dish. You can even bulk it up with some sort of a canned meat if you wanted to, or like spinach or mushrooms. Like, you can kind of doctor it up however you want to. But for this one, since it already had all the seasonings, the flavor, and it already had the meat in it, it's not much, but it is some meat. I just paired it with this box of bow ties, and you're good to go. If you want a cheese factor, of course, use like the sprinkle parm. That is shelf stable until it's opened. And you can always, if say you go and like order pizza somewhere at like Little Caesars or Papa John's or something, ask for Parmesan packets. They will give you little Parmesan packets and you can keep those. They're shelf stable. So that's something that's really good to keep on hand. And then that way you can top it with some Parmesan cheese and give it an extra little topping and cheese flavor. So I wanted to throw in a dessert because you can't forget about desserts. Just because you're in an emergency situation and kind of like, you know, eating to survive, you still want to have some good food, guilty pleasures. And so I thought I would throw a dessert in. So technically, if I hadn't have bought this meal, then I would have been under budget because this was $2.75 alone and that was $1. So I would have been under budget if I hadn't have bought these two items. But like I said, I wanted to throw in a dessert because desserts can be shelf stable also. So I picked up this Betty Crocker triple berry muffin mix. This is going to be the topping to my cobbler. So I got the cherry pie filling. So I would do this in a Dutch oven. I would put my cherry pie filling down at the bottom, and then I would mix this according to package directions, and it either calls for milk or water. So as long as you keep jugs of water on hand for cooking, you have your water, and then if you have dry milk, evaporated milk, any of that, so you could use either one in this case. So I would mix this according to package directions, and then I would just put it on top, and you have a quick and easy triple berry cherry cobbler. So that is all the meals that I got. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meals plus a dessert for $22.45. So I think I did pretty dang good, y'all. What do y'all think? I think I did good. I'm very happy with what I got. If you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I did get a few. Hold on, I'm just going to turn y'all around. Okay, this is just way easier. So I did get a couple questions in the last video talking about like storage, where to keep the food, what if you don't have any like electricity, running water and all that. And I've talked about all that before in previous videos. So definitely check out my Prepper Pantry playlist. I always have it linked in the description box in these type of videos. I've went into detail on many of those videos on the best places to store, how to store, and the importance of preparing and prepping, especially shelf-stable ingredients. I absolutely love doing this, and I've really enjoyed these videos. This is my second meal idea video that I've shared going into the store, and I really enjoy it. I hate that I wasn't able to film in Dollar General, but y'all, it was a hot mess. So it was easier just for me to shop and come home and share the ideas with you guys. So y'all still got some inspiration. But Dollar General is just a hot mess. Y'all, if you know, you know. It is always so bad. You want some attention? Max is wanting to make a debut again. So I feel like I did really good. We got 5 meals plus a dessert. Of course, if I hadn't have bought that dessert, we wouldn't have went over budget. But I wanted to share that also because it's important to have some fun, guilty pleasures, and stuff like that can be shelf stable. Max. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do have questions, just let me know. And y'all let me know what store you want to do next. I'm thinking Walmart next because I feel like I could really do good in Walmart with a $20 budget. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.